Been doing a bit of hard mode cathedral with the boys, trying to rack up some apples. Currently got almost 40k, and we got the Seraph plugin. Pretty interesting. Actually, I think this might be Gomery plugin. I always get them mixed up. My boy Mash is incredibly OP. He has every affinity, basically capping. And he's an attack build, which is pretty rare. Fall is here as well, just met him today. It's useful to bring people along here because you can get more percent, so need as many as I can get. Did a whole lot of runs that session, got 760 Zio crystals. That'll help us get some drops in end of days. And we finally got enough apples to create an apple presser, which is just 50k apples all in one item slot, and then you can just keep stacking up another one. Yeah, we're getting up there in the apples. We'll be able to fully rebirth Chi-Yu soon, although I have made a lot of progress just through running Home 2, which I'm going to need to run some more anyway because there's still a few pieces of XP gear that I'm missing. That dropped from Home 2. Should be able to get a few more rows done before I'm finished with Home 2. Oh nice, just got another Kuroe visor and the final red wing that I need. So I guess that's all for Home 2 for now, and now I just need to grind a bunch of apples to finish off the rebirth for Chi-Yu. Yo, we got a Mystic Reflect! That means we have all 3 reflects now! Because Chi-Yu is only naturally immune to death, so now we have immunity to Mind, Nerve, and Mystic. All 4 of the ailments are nulled. So let's mix these backs together. I think I already showed what this is. It just starts with 10% party XP and just a little bit of stat. So we need 3 of them to get it to the final version. So there's the +1. We'll pump it up to +2. And now the set bonus has +50% on the S1 for all party members. And a lot more stat, including luck. Pretty nice, S1. Especially because wing S1s are quite rare. Although the S2 is really what people want here. Specifically, it has +30% movement speed. Basically, if a wing doesn't have that, no one really bothers using it because if you're running dungeons, move speed is probably the main thing that's going to increase the speed of your runs. Like, increasing your damage only does so much, but being able to move through the dungeon quickly is what you want. And 30% is the highest that a back piece can give without starting to degrade super fast whenever you move around, because there's the pieces that I've shown you before that have +50%, but degrade in like just a few runs. I may end up using this as my wing S2. Currently it is this, which is actually worse damage, or maybe like a little bit better actually, can't really tell. It's difficult to compare damage dealt percent with like raw stats, but ignoring the direct damage comparisons, obviously I'm going to want this because it has that +30% move speed. We'll see how it works out, but for now I just want it for that S1 XP boost, so we can get this Chi-Yu up and running. Got these king boxes here, going to try and open them up for that Party Soulstone set of 4. I still need 2 more of them, so we'll see if I can get it. Okay, we've got 3 of them, I haven't checked them yet. I know we already have Markhab and Sheet, so... Okay, Sheet, I've already got that one. And Markhab, okay, so... We got 1 of them, Alpha Rats, so we're now up to 3. We need 1 more. Don't think I'm going to bother farming out king boxes for that. Although I do have some wild cards, I think. Ah, here they are. Got 12 wild cards. Normally you would use these for ace boxes, but I think king boxes is just a better route for me right now. Yeah, sure, let's go for it. Let's use these on king boxes. Be nice to free up that slot of my bank anyway. It's getting pretty full. So these just let you open up any box. Simple as that. I think you can buy them in the comp shop. No, you can buy them in a magic shop, but they're very expensive, but it is a nice way to offload excess MF if you ever have any. Okay, if we get a soulstone that isn't one of these, then we know we got the right one. Nope, not today. So what I've decided to do is just wipe this Snow Escape S1 and S2 and just main this pink wing. And I'm going to attach Berserker back to it because I'll be erasing that, and I'll just attach a Lover's Turret, which does have the minus 5% XP for me because I'll be using this as my main DPS gear, but it is more important to just have that partner XP on there. And I don't think that 5% is going to matter for me. When I really want to start leveling up my character, there are more specific ways to go about that than just running random dungeons and soaking in the XP. Alright, now we can be just as fast as everybody else. Although I am still missing the 20% from Boundless, but we can probably get that soon if I want to grind for it. So now that I'm getting 100 MF per day from my daily slums missions, I can be a little bit more frivolous with Destiny Darts. So we're going to dart this 10 times Demon Incense and then use all my apples to try and rebirth him. And I'm pretty sure it's like only a third of what's necessary to get him to Matama status. But I just want to dump all the apples and then do the rest through Home 2 and maybe a bit of Uoji. So just over 50k apples got me 2. Got that done. Still have 5 left. Ooh, you see that message? An ominous presence can be felt. That means that we rolled the chance to kill the Trumpeter. He also gives a hell of a lot of XP and I still have my 10 times incense up, so that's great. Okay. Hello, Mr. Doot Doot. There he is. Oh, he's throwing up shields immediately. I got shields too, buddy. What can I use against him? Spread? Yeah. Wow, look at that hit. Look at that HP. We can get him down though. Holy shit. Gee, you almost died. And now he is dead. There he is. Wow, that was a lot of XP. How much was that? 234 mil. Not sure if that's boosted by... I think that's just the base. Crazy. And yeah, we got the Strange Program, a consumable that you can open to pick between Trumpeter plugin or his trumpet weapon. You can get this in other places as well, but I think this is the best way to get them. And they can be upgraded even further than this. This is just the base version. It's very similar to the violins from Kappa. So we're going to give a try the next set of floors in Uoji. Currently at floor 60, so we'll be going down to floor 80. These are Home 2 style enemies, so hopefully they have the same weaknesses that Home 2 does. Oh yes, these are the deaf guys, but might be able to use fire. Right now I only have a Mystic Scabbard, so some of these guys I'm not going to have the weaknesses for. Just have to make do with the other elements that I have. That should be ice. Yeah, looks like they still have that crazy like 10 times weakness to whatever element they need. Oh, and Gyoki's here now. He may know all something. I think I have to use Almighty on him actually. Oh yeah, Almighty works. The catch-all Almighty. Well, that wasn't too bad. Still got 9 minutes on the clock, but I cannot beat the next set of enemies. They are Dark Babel Abyss Tower style enemies, very difficult. We can fight the boss. It's going to be a different boss than last time. It is Goddess of the Hunt, Skadi. This is normal mode. I should have went Tiger Cat. So let's see what the normal mode drops are. We still got some Massacadus, that's good. 40 Sapphires. And a bunch of Underground Suns. Oh, and I reached level 95. Awesome. So we've been getting a lot of orb boxes from Uaji. It's actually a much better way to get them compared to Boundless. So I'm going to show you, you can actually buy move speed in here. You get 4% each one you buy, and there is 5 of them. So that's a total of 20% move speed to be gained here. And it's a total of 210 white orbs of hope to buy all of them. We got 90, and we can convert these, one of each color, into one white. So we'll see how much we can get out of these ones that we have. I used a lot of the blues and the yellows for my power-ups earlier, but we do have these purple ones that can become any orb. So we can make up the deficit that way. I'll buy 50 blues. Actually, I think there's an orb that we don't have any of at all. Yeah, the pink one. We'll buy 50 pinks as well. Looks like we just have enough. Like 10, 5, and 1. And there we go. 210 white orbs. Now I promised somebody that I would do a test to confirm whether this move speed is actually working. So let me set up like a speed test. So we'll do a test before we buy it, and then after we buy it we'll do the same route and see if we increased our move speed at all. So I'm going to run from here all the way to the next wall and just time it and see how it goes. So this is before buying the move speed. I got 37.88 seconds. Now let's buy all 5. Tasty move speed. And redo the race. $34.39 after move speed bought. I fumbled the recording the first time round, so we'll call it 37 compared to 34. So I gained 3 seconds after buying those 5 movement speed buffs. So yep, it's definitely working. So I've done all the Uaji that I want to do for now. Stocked up over 10k of these suns, which I'm going to cash in now for some items. So in this shop, we have Alciel's plugin, and it does require a Michael to fuse him, so really not going to be getting that anytime soon, even if I did want to buy that, because Michael's a very difficult demon to get. We have one-handed swords that aren't so useful, but we do have a spread shotgun here. Looks like they're both the same, except they change which species they give XP to. Just a pretty standard shotgun, to be honest, with a little bit of partner XP on the S3. Does have a set bonus to reflect electric at a 30% chance. But the main thing you buy in here are these necklaces. 4 different types. I'll show you what they do here. So the cheapest one is for expertise, 50% earned. Next we have soul points at 30% earned. Then we have Bethel at 25% earned. That's from a minigame we haven't seen yet. Pentalpha. I'm basically ignoring that because the rewards you get from that dungeon have to be used inside dungeons that I'm not allowed in, so it's kind of pointless for me to run that dungeon right now, or ever. And the most important one, you get 10% Digi XP on the neck. But honestly, I'm not really planning to do any more Digi on this account. I'm almost at D-level 7 for the foul species, and that's pretty much all you really need to do every endgame content, so the only benefit of training Digi more is for just a little bit more damage boost, and you can get some expertise cap off it as well. But since I have very poor access to Digi XP gear, it's just really no reason for me to keep training. So what I'm going to actually buy is the soul one for soul points, and I'll use that on my demon set. And it's also just an extra bit of XP, which I don't have in a slot like this. So there it is, crown necklace soul. And as for the rest of my black suns, they're going to go into apples, because you can actually buy quite a lot of apples here. So 10k for 2500 underground sun. Okay, we got enough apples to finish off this big boy's rebirthing, so let's go do that now. Alright, there's the last rebirth, at least for the pre-Matama. Then we gotta do it all again for post-Matama. But at least he'll have his Matama features and he'll be able to hold his own in the dungeon, so you can start gathering DU gear. So the final step of Matamaing a demon is to fuse it with Ara Matama or Over here we can see we got Niggy for magic, Kushi for speed, or Saki for luck. But Ara is for strength, and that's what we are, so let's go. Remember last time we did this, we had a decent chance, but this time we might be different. Yeah, 10%. Although I'm kind of loaded on Macca right now, so 50k Macca isn't even that big of a deal. I'll just do that until it works. And there he is. A Matama Chiyu. Let's check him out. Nice orange name. It's got new features now. The most important one being that he doesn't use any HP whenever he uses his skills, so I was sort of just draining myself when I was in those ice caves runs. He just couldn't survive till the end because he kept draining himself with his own attacks. But now we should be good to go. So let's talk about Matama Strengthening. These are little bonuses you can give to your demon once it's been Matama fused. Basically, you see a button here. It shows you all of the buffs you can get. But honestly, there's a better page on the wiki to show you about these, so I'll just get that up. So you can think of all these little rectangles as individual slots that you can insert a Matama into, and a Matama like a Nigi Matama down here, or any of the other three. And depending on which colors you insert, you get a different buff. So we'll take Tiwa's, the top line for example. If I were to insert 4 red Matamas, so 1, 2, 3, 4, I would get plus 20 strength and plus 10 vit. And because there's 8 slots, I can then pick another one that I want. So say I wanted to put 4 blue in there, blue Niggies, then I get plus 20 magic and plus 10 int as well. You get both of them. And you add them just through a menu here. Matama Strengthening menu. Allocate. And then you just pick the line. And then you choose a Matama that's in your comp. You actually have to go in and fuse a hell of a lot of these Matamas, although there is another way to get them, which I'll probably show. So you can just pick to add a blue. Actually, we're going to go with Fehu. The Fehu line, and we'll add a blue, and I'll show you how it works. So it does cost a little bit of Macca. This is actually quite an expensive process to add every single Matama. So yep, that's it. Just shows that animation again, and see now we have a little blue icon in here to show that I've attached one Matama in that slot. Now these slots are locked by default. In order to open up the slot, you have to rebirth that slot. So all that rebirthing that I did before I fused a Matama to this demon, I now have to do it again so that I can unlock these slots. And I did use my excess apples to rebirth up to, I think, 7. So I would have these slots open. And the reason I want to do that is because I really would like this minus 20% incantation and cooldown reduction, which you can get from that line. All I need to do is put another 3 blues in here and I'll have that. So I'm going to do that now. So there's the last one. So we've got 4 in there now, and it's now green, lit up. So that shows me that I have it unlocked. So it's going to be nice. There's also a limit to how many of each color you can put into your slots. I got the max amount because I went all the way and rebirthed every single line to their maximum, and so the max is 24 of each color. If you didn't want to rebirth all the way like I did, if you wanted to know how many of each you would get, so there's a calculation you can do. All you need to do is find the total number of rebirths you did before you Matama fused. So in my case, it was the max, which is 12 lines of 8, so 12 times 8. So I did 96 total rebirths before I Matama fused, and then you just divide that number by 4. So 24 of each color. If you wanted to know how many you would get if you only did every path to 4 and then stopped, that would be 12 paths of 4 each, so 48. Divide that by 4, so you'd have 0 out of 12 for each color. So that's pretty limiting, but you can still get quite a lot of power out of that. And even if you did stop at 4, once you've Matama fused, you can just keep rebirthing beyond to unlock the slots. Like there's no requirement to unlocking these slots once you've Matama fused. So yeah, I'll slowly fill this in as I rebirth more and more, and we'll get some damage out of it. Okay, let's see if we can clear ice caves now. Wildcat mode. Let's go. The cooldown looks pretty good. Yeah, at least it's spammable now. We're not losing HP every time we use it. We're still lacking raw power because our gear is pretty trash. But that's why we're here, to try and get some better gear. And we can feed our demon like an incense, and we can give him a similar card to my gunner's card. So there's lots of things we can do to boost his damage a little bit. Could definitely push into Boundless and Ice Caves now. At least we can kill the Skadi now. Now that Hades Blast has a decent cooldown. Alright, here's the boss. How does Force go against these shadows? Oh, it's a weak point. Easy. But I guess Norn is the real issue. Okay, Force can definitely hit him. Didn't do a lot of damage, did it? Ooh, Hades Blast did some decent damage. Oh yeah, we're done. Our first Wildcat complete. How much SP did we get? 273. It's pretty small. But I don't have any SP gear, and I don't have my SP incense going. So it'll definitely get more. You can actually get a pretty decent SP piece from this run, I'm pretty sure. So first loot, nothing. And we can't equip our weapon to dig more from these, so we're just going to get the one. So yeah, our damage is around like 1,000 to 5,000 right now. Pretty good for the gear that I'm wearing. Okay, what's this? Spiral IDMU license voucher. One of the 4 different IDMUs you can get from this. And the next run we get another one. Pursuit IDMU DT this time. So all these DTs are pretty similar, and it's easier to get them mixed up. They are a set of a face, neck, and ring. Very interesting because it breaks apart regular accessory sets that use like the talisman and the earring. But there are a lot of talismans that are a set bonus by themselves that you can use. Maybe I don't have access to them though. And the most important thing about these is that they give a lot of final crit. So the set bonus of this one gives 10% final crit, and I believe the face, yeah, the face gives 5% as well on the characteristics. And Spiral is TA based, and Pursuit is obviously Pursuit based, so you can just pick and choose which ones you need. It looks like I was going to go with Spiral as my S1 set bonus, and this one is actually my S3 characteristics, so I'm set for the player, but I need to keep running this to get the demon ones as well. But I can definitely SI this stuff now, so I can get all that final crit. Very nice. Oh, and I should probably also mention, I got the Harlot plugin, but I can't actually get the demons that are required to fuse a Harlot, so if I want a Harlot, I need to go for the PG. And I believe this is one of the Hellel demon plugins, not sure which one it is though. So this is what the gear's looking like right now. We just gained plus 30% final crit, but a portion of that is only available when my demon is at maximum friendship, and my demon dies a lot. So I'm going to have to think of something to either let her survive more often, or maybe I'll just have to swap to a demon that is a lot more tanky. I'll think about what to do with that. And we also gained a lot of TA power and a little bit of chance from that as well. We should be quite a lot more powerful, assuming our demon can stay at max friendship. This Fullness Black comes from Yodobashi Run. We haven't done that yet, but that is on the menu. Got to get 5 pieces from there. It's all in 1 DT though, and that's just like a bunch of LB power. I'm not really tracking the LB power very well, I guess. They're all blank. You know, speaking of Yodobashi, you can actually go for Alalat, which his PG drops in that run. And he has amazing resistances. Like all across the board is less than 100%, even Almighty, which is such a rare trait to have a resistance to Almighty. And all of that gets better when you Matama. I think everything else goes down 20%. So maybe I can just get an Alalat and like do an R4 Matama, just like the basic version. Level him up to like 80. And he should be tanky enough to survive most things. And I can even give him like a dodge skill, which are pretty useful for letting your demon sit at the start of a room. Like when you enter a run, you just set your demon to use dodge and then it just sits there for the rest of the run, far away from the boss. That's the idea. So with those two things combined, you should be able to remain at max friendship. The thing about Yodobashi though is it costs 1k apples per entry, so I'm going to have to grind out some apples. That's basically one hard mode cathedral run per Yodobashi run.